concerns that now even the selection panel, which there were so many haggles and back and forth over who selects who. Back then, ODM was not together with the president, but we managed to get their people in there. Now, with the broad-based arrangement, they are together with the president. The complaint by the other side, and that's the Azimio side, or the parties that were in Azimio away from ODM, is that now, between Raila Odinga and President William Ruto, they definitely get to control a huge chunk of the selection panel. Do you agree that that may be a serious concern going forward?
It is very easy to agree with that proposal, very easy. It makes sense. When ODM was on the other side, they fought very hard to make sure they have their own people. And then, of course, Kenya Kwanza also fought very hard to have their own people. And even my former party as well, Wiper and so on, fought to have this their side of the party. Everybody's trying to have a strength and probably have a majoritarian level to be able to get the people you want as commissioners and to get the people you want to work for you, which is a very wrong thesis for a democracy. In fact, these people should, as much as possible, be neutral. They should, as much as possible, have no interest in political parties, because then they're supposed to deliver a result that is not discriminatory. But everybody's pushing to have their own as chairman, because eventually it's that chairman who's going to declare the final results of an election. So the place to start is the selection panel, so they can give you the right people and so on and so on. That is very wrong. I really feel like that attitude of looking for the people you want. But it's not strange in a political system. Every political system, even in the world, does the same. People try to have people in the Supreme Court that favor them in this court system and so on and so on. In fact, the battle in the US is usually about who appoints the Supreme Court judges. So that kind of influence is always there. And so even those who will complain, if they had a chance, they would have their own majority in there. It's not easy to just look at things and say, these people should be neutral. No. You always want to go home and sleep knowing that you have somebody taking care of your interests. And that is a political situation that's correct. So, however, I think there's also another way in which we're almost being told who is going to be elected. You know, we're almost being told that this is going to be the chairman, and this is going to be the vice. Even before the interview started, trying to influence our minds on these matters. And that means the interest is even beyond the politicians. You know, even the media is involved. Everybody is trying to make sure that you put an image out there that tells us that we know who's going to be what and what. However, the problem with this particular time of handshake or broad-based government, is it can only work if we believe that these two parties, now joined at the hip, will go that way all the way to the elections. And that's still very doubtful. We don't know about that, do we? We don't. So if we knew that Kenya Kwanza and ODM are actually connected for the election, then you think they have an advantage over the numbers. Yeah,
the selection is happening this week. If at all the selection panel is already lopsided because of the handshake, it means that whoever will be chosen will...
But that's what I'm saying, because already everybody had already put their own persons there. It's very easy to split back and go to the previous status. Because, I mean, there's no new, this selection panel now, if everybody will be protecting their own, ODM will be protecting their own to be part of this. If they get a chairman, the other one will become vice chairman. But now that disadvantages all the other parties, because these two parties will now decide who's going to be a chairman and the vice chairman because of the majority status. I think they'll also want to know how many of the commissioners themselves will be supporting this side. But on the day of splitting, you know, because there will be a split at some point.
You anticipate one?
There will be a split. I mean, this is not easy, by the way, to carry on